So we started the week with that sit-rise test, and that's a very specific test, and it's good to work on the things that we were looking at this week. Very specific corrective work for ankles, knees, hips, and to build strength. But one of the other ways is to just incorporate those movements into your life, like when you're putting on socks or when you're going up and down stairs, but also just getting down on the floor. The act of getting down on the floor and then getting back up off the floor really builds you the strength and the facility you need. As we have aged and also bought furniture and we have couches and chairs, we tend to not be on the floor except when we're around little kids. But honestly, before there was furniture, people sat on the floor. Now, most of us have like one or two positions that we're kind of comfortable in on the floor, or maybe really comfortable in. I'm quite comfortable with my left leg out, my right leg tucked in, or actually with both legs out. Those are both comfortable for me. Cross-legged is not as comfortable. I'm still very tight in my hips, so I can do it. But if you get down on the floor every day, just for 10 minutes, tell yourself while you watch this TV show till the next commercial break, you're going to get down on the floor. Whatever it is, if you get down on the floor, then you have to get back up again. The act of doing that every day, making a point to do that every day, will get you better at it. And if you do it even more during the day, whenever I put my shoes on, I can quite easily bend over to put my shoes on, or I could make myself sit on the floor to put my shoes on and tie my shoes, and then I have to get back up. That's a way to put more movement into my world. While you're down on the floor, you may find you're not that comfortable for very long. Well, guess what? We weren't designed to just sit and not move for 8 hours. We're designed to move around. So what you may find is, okay, so I've been there for a while, now I'm going to switch, and I'm going to come here, and then after a while that gets uncomfortable, and then I switch to here, and then I get more uncomfortable, and I switch to the other side, and I realize, oh, that's not very good. I'm going to lean because I can't get that hip down. Maybe I work on getting my hip down. The more you keep moving around on the floor, that's moving. That's moving. That's waking up different tissue. That's pulling on bones in different ways. That's applying weight onto the bones in different ways. And every time you switch positions, you may be surprised to discover how many positions you could sit in. So for the whole weekend, I want you to find times to actually get down on the floor. Spend 10 minutes. Plan to be there long enough to maybe get uncomfortable and have to change positions a couple times. And then get back up. The act of doing that improves the act of doing that. That's really all it comes down to. The more you do things, the more comfortable it is to do them. The less you do things, the harder it is to return to them. So most of us don't get on the floor except when we were kids or when we had young children around. But I'm going to ask you to get down on the floor more. Now, if you're not comfortable sitting flat on the floor, that's fine. Sit on a lower bench. Put some pillows on the floor. Sit up on pillows. I actually sit up on my yoga blocks a lot. They're very comfortable for me. And in fact, if I bring my legs behind me and put a couple blocks between my feet, I can kneel. And my pelvis will be supported on the blocks instead of crunching my ankles, which doesn't always feel good right now to me. I want you to play with just getting on the floor. It's a radical act. I've been known to do it in dressing rooms waiting for my daughter while we're shopping. I've been known to do it in a variety of places that are public, which gets a little weird. But start in your house and see if there's a place where maybe you could get off the furniture and onto the floor. And like I said, if you're not ready to be down on the floor, and I know many of you in this group are not ready to be down on the floor, you have joint replacements or illnesses that prevent you from doing that right now, see if you can at least switch your sitting position in what you're in. If you're working toward getting on the floor, maybe start with finding something lower to sit on. Sit down on your coffee table. Get a little closer to the ground. Start changing the range of movement that you have. All right, that's your work for tomorrow and for the weekend, and really forever, because it's good for you. Move around on the floor.